A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic turn of events, California Governor Gavin Newsom has stepped into the fray as violent protests erupt in Los Angeles, ignited by recent ICE raids in the area. The protests, which began on Friday and escalated over the weekend, have seen demonstrators clashing with law enforcement, setting fires, and causing significant property damage. Newsom's response has been to direct his ire not at the rioters, but at former President Donald Trump, whom he accuses of stoking the chaos. The situation in Los Angeles has deteriorated rapidly, with reports of protesters throwing projectiles at police and setting vehicles ablaze. In response to the unrest, President Trump deployed the National Guard to restore order, a move that Newsom claims is politically motivated. "This is exactly what Donald Trump wanted," Newsom stated on social media, asserting that Trump is using the situation for his own political gain. In a bold move, Newsom announced that he would be suing Trump, claiming that the federal government's actions are unconstitutional. The order he signed doesn't just apply to California. It will allow him to go into any state and do the same thing, Newsom warned, emphasizing the potential implications of Trump's federalization of the National Guard. As the protests continued, Newsom was seen at the LAPD headquarters, where he challenged ICE Director Tom Homan to arrest him, mocking the federal response to the protests. His comments reflect a growing frustration among state leaders regarding the Trump administration's handling of immigration enforcement, particularly in urban areas like Los Angeles. California's Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Kounalakis, echoed Newsom's sentiments during an appearance on CNN, arguing that the protests were manageable before Trump's involvement. She criticized the deployment of the National Guard as unnecessary and accused the president of escalating the situation for political theater. Kounalakis described the initial protest as peaceful, stating, "What started yesterday was about 400 protesters in two separate locations, and local law enforcement was absolutely capable of managing those kinds of protests." She expressed concern that Trump's actions were inflaming tensions and leading to further unrest. The protests have drawn attention to the broader issue of immigration policy and enforcement in the United States, particularly in light of recent ICE raids that have targeted undocumented immigrants. Many protesters argue that these raids are unjust and disproportionately affect vulnerable communities. As the situation unfolds, the National Guard's presence in Los Angeles raises questions about the balance of power between state and federal authorities. Newsom's lawsuit against Trump could set a significant precedent regarding state rights and federal intervention in local matters. Meanwhile, the White House defended the deployment of the National Guard, with Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt stating that Newsom had failed to protect the city during the riots. She criticized the governor for his inaction, suggesting that the federal response was necessary to restore order. As tensions remain high in Los Angeles, the outcome of Newsom's legal action against Trump and the ongoing protests will likely have lasting implications for California's political landscape and its relationship with the federal government. The state's leaders are faced with the challenge of addressing the concerns of their constituents while navigating the complexities of federal immigration policy and enforcement. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.